and welcome back to my channel, where today we're discussing Doctor Who. And with rumours rife about Jodie Whittaker leaving Doctor who do I want to see as the 14th Doctor? Now, bear in mind, these are fan castings, okay? So they probably aren't going to happen. They are not realistic at all, as one of them, the first one I'm going to discuss, is sadly no longer with us. But these are my dream castings as who I would want to see play the Doctor. So, let's get on with the video. Now, my first fan casting is Gene Wilder, most well known for his portrayal of Willy Wonka in the classic Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And this is very much a dream casting, as like I said, he's sadly no longer with us. But how good would this guy be as the Doctor? Like, if you watch Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the original, his character really has that sort of quirky nature of the Doctor, and he even has the bow tie and the long coat. He's very quirky, very friendly, but then there's those really dark moments where he's really twisted and nasty, which is very much like what the Doctor is, or what I think the Doctor should be. And I rewatched this the other day, and I literally said to my mother, how good would he have been as the Doctor, you know, back in the day? And she actually agreed, you know, he's so charismatic, you wouldn't want to mess with him, but at the same time, you feel like he would look after you. And that is a really good Doctor, in my opinion. And he would have made a phenomenal characterization. And I'm gutted that we'll never get to see it. But genuinely, check out some of the scenes from the movie. And just picture in your mind that he's the Doctor. And he just would have nailed it. Now, my next fan casting is not that out of the blue, as when Peter Capaldi announced that he was leaving, this guy was the favourite to replace him, and that is Chris Marshall, best known for his character in Death in Paradise, and Nick from My Family. Now, why do I think that he would be a good pick? Well, when people were suggesting Chris Marshall after Peter Capaldi left, I looked at him and I was like, you know what? That would be brilliant. He's perfect for the role. And this is the kind of thing I would want to see. If you watch him in Death in Paradise, again, he has that quirky side, but then again, you wouldn't want to mess with him. And he's a very logical and strategical thinker in that. And I really think that he would bring the humour into the show, as well as the dramatic moments and the emotional beats, because this guy nails both aspects of acting. And when Jodie Whittaker was announced as the 13th Doctor, I remember being kind of gutted, because I really wanted it to be, and to be honest, I expected it to be Chris Marshall, you know? He'd just left Death in Paradise, they needed a new Doctor. I really thought that it was going to be him, and I really want to see this, you know? If he's not the 14th Doctor, make him the 15th Doctor. This guy needs to be the Doctor at some point, because he would nail it. And it amazes me that the BBC hasn't hired him yet to do it. Seriously, BBC, get on it. Get Chris Marshall as the Doctor. He would be lightning in a bottle, I think. I think if he was the Doctor, he'd have that Sylvester McCoy comedic tone and the Sylvester McCoy darker tones as well. And I genuinely think he could be as popular as the likes of Matt Smith and David Tennant if he became the Doctor. Now, my next choice is Hayley Atwell, and I feel like most of you know her from the Marvel Cinematic Universe as Agent Carter. And I think she would be a great Doctor because she has that flair, that authority. When you watch her in scenes, she is your focus, you know, she's the one that you focus on. And I think that's very important for the Doctor. And like I said, she has authority in her roles. I don't necessarily feel like Jodie had that in her Doctor. So I feel like she would be a great choice. And she again also has comedic talents and a little bit of a flirty undertone as well, which I like from the Doctor. She's suave, she's sophisticated, she's British, and she's just brilliant. I think she would kill it in the role, and I always said if they were going to make a female Doctor, she's the kind of person that I would want to do it. So I would love to see her do it. I don't think she would. I think she's too big for the role now, but yeah, I think she'd be a great choice. And she would kill it in the action stuff. I don't know if you've seen her in Agent Carter, the TV series. But the action stuff in that is great, so she'd be really good for that in Doctor Who. Now, this one people are definitely either gonna love or hate. I feel like most people will hate it, but I would love to see Robert Downey Jr. as the Doctor. Obviously best known for Iron Man in the MCU. Yes, 2 MCU alumni, kill me. But how cool would he be? He's definitely got that technological edge. He's the smartest guy in the room. And I know that that is Iron Man and that's like who he plays, but the Doctor needs that as well, and he would be so good with that. And as shown in like Iron Man 3 and in the MCU, Robert Downey Jr. is amazing for playing sort of a torn man, you know, a man who's been through some serious crap and is just trying to get on with stuff and deal with it in his own way and do the right thing. And how much more of a Doctor archetype can you get than that? He's charismatic, he's humorous, and he does a sort of Tom Baker thing of acting like a bit of an idiot, a bit pompous, a bit full of himself, but really, you know, he does that to underestimate people so that you don't see him as a threat when actually he's about 10 steps ahead of you, so he's got this. I mean, it's more likely Gene Wilder would do it, but come on, how cool would that be? And the final fan casting I want to talk about is Lee Evans. And comedians are no strangers to Doctor Who. Catherine Tate, Peter Kay. There's so many comedic actors in Doctor Who, Matt Lucas, David Williams. And I know Lee Evans has already been in a Doctor Who episode. Again, doesn't really matter. So was Peter Capaldi. So was Freema Agyeman. And I think he'd be great. He's so funny. He'd bring a lot of the comedic tones to Doctor Who. He's so energetic and lively. He's engaging. You want to watch him and you would want him to succeed. He'd be a very fun Doctor, I feel, like a Tom Baker. I'm not sure how we would manage with the more emotional beats and the darker tones, but I just think it would be a great kind of experiment. And if anyone has a spare few £1 million and knows Lee Evans, please make a fan film of him as the Doctor, because I'd love to see it. I just think he's really a really funny guy, and I'd like to see him do something like that, something more serious and grounded. I know he's retired now, but I think it would be a real interesting direction to take by casting a comedian as the Doctor and possibly putting comedy at the forefront just to see what it would be like as an experiment. And if it doesn't work, he can regenerate after a year. But Lee Evans as a fan casting, I think, would be great. And if you ever watch any of his comedy stuff, he has you in stitches. He's so expressive. I just think he'd be really good in the part. And you know, I loved him when he was in Planet of the Dead, that excitable, childlike thing. He could very easily be a Matt Smith type. Childish, funny, and then suddenly has a darker edge. So, yeah, I'd love to see that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my video for today. Just a quick one. I really wanted to just get out my fan castings. You know, maybe someone at the BBC will hear and go, you know what? That guy's got it. He knows what he's doing. We should cast someone. But yeah, let me know your fan castings down below. If you believe the rumours are even true that Jodie is leaving Doctor Who. And check out my ranking of the Doctors. I will link it in the description and also up here. But until the next time, guys, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell to keep up to date. And like the video as always. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye for now.